Okay. So how should businesses support leaders who might be struggling with their roles from a mental health perspective?
That's a great question because I think a lot of people that are thrown into managing a team are often unprepared. So one of the tips I would say is to get on board with maybe a mentoring group, not necessarily within your organization, just connect with other managers that are doing maybe a similar role to you in a different organization and just connect with them because once you can learn from one another, you can also support one another and you can understand what the other person is going through, and you're bound to find someone that's been through what you're going through. And also, it's a trouble shared is a trouble sort of halved, isn't it? And if you can get those people, a group of people that are in a similar situation to you, like not necessarily in a mastermind setup, but just you get together and talk about, what are your challenges? No agenda in particular. So you just come together and support one another. And I think that's the one thing that I see a lot is that people feel that they're a bit isolated. It's particularly when they're managing a team, in that they haven't really been shown the right way to go about leading a team. And so ultimately they start to fail. And the saddest thing is that, a good employee that's been promoted to a manager can leave the organization eventually because there's got no support, and bizarrely they're expected to do something that they've never been shown how to do. And so that's that reluctant leader sort of accidental manager scenario where when you're promoted to lead a team and you've not been shown the right way to do it or never been on a course to do it, then ultimately you're being set up to fail. And that's the saddest thing. And I've seen that happen a number of times, even with my clients, that I've warned them to, okay, you can promote that person, but you need to look after them and make sure they feel that they belong, and make sure that they're trained to do the new job. Because, doing a technical job is one thing, but then managing a team of technical experts, it's a completely different thing. And so why do we expect people to be able to do it just by giving them the job without any training? We wouldn't do that. It's like something like if you had a forklift truck that you needed to use in your warehouse, you wouldn't just throw the keys to the first person you find and say, "They have a go with driving the forklift." Fingers crossed nothing nasty happens. And it's just like that, because that's what you're doing. You're giving the keys to the team, and then fingers crossed everything will be okay. And so, why do that? It's just madness. And so one of my passions is to make sure that people are trained in the right way to lead people. And that's it's not a science, actually. When you break it down, there are only three things you need to actually lead a team well. You need to have the right mindset, and the mindset being high challenge, high support. That's what I believe is the right way to do things. Then you need to know a process to follow, and the process needs to start with a clear vision as to what you're trying to achieve. And lastly, you need to know the skills to use at the right time. So a lot of people in leadership and management, they use the same skills all the time and they don't adapt to different situations, and that's where they come unstuck. So we need to be situationally consistent by using the right skills at the right time. So essentially, you need to know the mindset, the process, and the skills to be effective.